Hello, welcome to Friday's 5 Awesome Transformer Guys. I'm Autobot1000, also known as Rick, and this week we are doing things a bit differently. Instead of doing different questions each, Team Decepticon is going to post a topic, and then we're going to follow on from this topic. The topic is defining moments. Now, I was going to do my defining moments on Transformers the movie, the first movie. Unfortunately, Vega Death, you've kind of taken every good point of the movie and put it on your vlog. So, not wanting to repeat everything you said, I've chosen another defining moment. Now, my defining moment has got nothing to do with the cartoon or comics, just to throw a bit of a curveball out here. My defining moment is a personal defining moment, still involved in Transformers, but it's the point where you personally realise that being a Transformer fan is nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to be embarrassed about, anything like that. I'll briefly explain. I've been a fan since 1986, since I first saw the movie, and every year through my childhood I was asking for Transformer toys, even to the point where parents are saying you're too old for that, like they do, you're a big kid now, you shouldn't be playing with toys. I still wanted to play with the toys. I still wanted the new toys that were out. Damn what anyone else said. And if you're like me when you were going through school, if anyone found, if people knew, especially in high school, that you were a Transformer fan, well, let's put a point on it, you did get the piss taken out of you quite a lot. Just because I was never into football, I was never into any sort of sports. I was just happy sitting there playing with my toys. And when your friends are constantly getting at you, saying you shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing this, parents are constantly saying why are you doing this, and birthdays, I get a bit of money for my birthday, I go out and buy Transformer toys, and I'd be like, what did you waste your money on that for? But I've still got some of the toys I bought now, and I'm still sit there and happily play with them. People have gone out and wasted the money. I've got something to show for that birthday at the end of the day. Anyway, back onto the topic. So yeah, then I started working and I was still buying Transformer toys. I think roughly I started working around the Beast Wars era. So, and being an 17, 18-year-old lad, walking up to the counter and admitting that these toys are for you is not an easy thing to do. Not back then anyway. Now it's probably a lot easier, because now it's not viewed so differently as it was back then. I can remember the weird looks I got from people behind the counter when you mention that these are for you, and it got to the point where I had to make up a younger brother when I was buying toys. I think I even got one person saying, "Is that for you, are they?" And I'm like, no, I've got a younger brother. So it was rather embarrassing. I mean, I'd be embarrassed there, but then I get the toys home, I'd be happily playing with them. But inside your own room, you're happy playing, but once you go outside, you'd never mention you're a Transformer fan. I think this is roughly the time I was in college, so I think there's 2 or 3 people that knew I was into Transformers, and they went to anime and stuff like that, and they didn't mind. But the majority of other people that did know about it, they still look down on you. What the heck, you play with toys. You're in your 20s, what, you ain't playing with toys. So it was a weird time growing up, because although I enjoyed playing with the toys, I didn't want to stop. I enjoyed playing with them, I enjoyed reading about them, I enjoyed watching the cartoons. It wasn't socially accepted, except in small crowds of people who were interested in similar things. Not exactly the same things, but similar things. And of course, growing up, there was never anybody else who would, if they were into it, they would never admit it. So, and then it got to, I joined the internet scene late. I joined the internet roughly in 2004. Still at this point collecting toys. Still embarrassed about it. But there was a time when I finally got on the internet and I'm chatting to people who are into it as much as I am, or in some cases more, and they're my age. And I was thinking to myself, well, maybe this isn't something I should be embarrassed about. Sod everyone. If I'm into it, I'm into it. If they don't like it, they can lump it. And then I finally went to a convention, my first convention, which was in 2006. And I met so many people, my age, older, younger. And all of a sudden, being a Transformer fan was nothing to be embarrassed about. These people were, you know, I'm not saying everyone was going through exactly the same thing as me, but these people have gone through similar situations. And it felt like, wait a minute, all this time I've been thinking this is something to be embarrassed about. It's not. I will now happily stand up and say I'm a Transformer fan. Back then I wouldn't do, but now I will. And it was the point of realisation when you turn around to yourself and say, you know what? I'm proud to be a Transformer fan. I'm happy being a Transformer fan. I think that the movie coming along has helped. It's a terrible movie, but it has helped it seem something to be embarrassed about, or something that you should be not, keep quiet about. So, although I don't like the movies, I like what it's done for the Transformer community and for myself personally. I'll happily tell everyone I'm a Transformer fan. I have Transformers tattoos, which people don't really see in summer. They don't really see till summer even. When I'm behind the counter at work, I'll have short sleeve t-shirts on. I'll be serving them, and there'll be people turning around to go, "Wow, Transformer tattoos!" It's a huge difference to what it was. If I'd have had these tattoos 10, 15 years ago, people would wonder what the hell I was doing. Now, I've seen people with Transformer tattoos on before. It's more accepted than what it was, and I think the movie had a lot to do with that. But I think it was before the movie came out that I realised it was nothing to be embarrassed about. So that is my defining moment. My defining moment is the time when I realised being a Transformer fan is nothing to be embarrassed about. It's nothing you have to hide. And for me, that was just a personal release. It was like I was hiding something. I could let myself go a little more. I didn't have to hide behind my shell. I was free to do what I wanted to do. 10 years ago, I wouldn't have done something like this. Now I'll happily do it. It's made me a different person. So yeah, that'll do it for me. Monday, don't forget to catch repellentfounddead. He'll be answering his thoughts on his definitive moment, and I'll catch you all next week.